I need to ask you a question.
Be curious, Drifters.
Elleegant's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside in Bob, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, a big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
I can confirm the red lights are on.
That's good. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Bit of a false start on Sunday.
Mate, this entire season, I feel like we've been re-recording left, right and centre. But not today.
No, absolutely not today. Big day on Saturday.
May the technology gods be with us.
Yeah. But more importantly, the punting gods.
Yeah. And
because it's a really big day on Saturday, mate. Really big. It is.
Yeah.
We've got 2 Group 1s
Yeah.
in Sydney.
Rugby League's back.
Rugby League is back. Vegas style. There's already been a punch on before the season's even started.
And an engagement.
Yes, and an engagement. Xavier Savage.
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 That is the most rugby league thing I've ever seen.
It is. It's just honestly, it's like a soap opera.
It's a rugby league fairy tale.
It is. It is. All within the same team too.
I know. It's so funny.
Ricky's just like, fuck me, boys. Are we here to play some footy or what?
Yeah. Oh, it's just hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Not on my bingo card. But
yes.
I'll tell you what is on my bingo card. 3 Group 1s, 3 of them.
Mm.
Are they all over the mile?
No, the surround's 1,400
Okay,
meters.
thank God. That would be absolute madness.
Yeah.
It pretty much is.
It pretty much is. There's a lot of mile Group 1s in Australia.
Yeah.
I love a mile though.
Yeah.
The Randwick mile's a classic.
Yeah.
The Flemington mile, not so much. Flemington, for me, straight races and the Cup. That's it. And Derby Day, every single race on the day.
What, 1,400 metres at Flemington?
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I feel like I need to keep track because, you and I, we go on acceptances when we're doing the form sort of largely, and then we'll sort of adjust from there. And I feel like every single time I see a 1,400 metre race at Flemington, I'm like, oh yeah, don't mind this horse. I'll probably back it. Draws gate 14.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do?
What's the point?
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
What is the actual point? I'm looking through because off the top of the dome, I don't think there is.
There's not a 1,400 metre race this weekend.
No. 1,400 metre Group 1 at Flemington doesn't exist.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
No, because they know as well.
Exactly.
They know as well. Like, this is trash.
Yeah.
This is trash. It's so hard to find a winner in those sort of races.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, don't really have to talk about that.
We digress.
Yeah, we don't really have to talk about that unless... Oh, wait, it's Flemington this weekend. Oh, wait, race 6. The Schweppes Plate Benchmark 84 is over 1,400 metres. And that's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
That's good. All right. Well, let's get into... Do you want to end with Sydney or end with the Australian Guineas?
Let's end in Sydney.
Okay. There's only 3 races I have to preview at Flemington because it's a bit of an Inglis day.
It is.
So not necessarily the black type, but the Inglis Sprint was a good race last year.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. So we might have a peek at that. But let's go to the race 7, the Blamey. 1,600 metres, Group 2, set weights and penalties. For 3-year-olds plus, I thought that would have been absolutely... There's no 3-year-olds in this field, surely. No.
That'd be bizarre,
That would be absolute madness. Where was your starting point here? Zardozi's an interesting horse.
I thought she was fascinating, being nommed here rather than the Chipping Norton, the Very Elleegant Stakes up in Sydney. Because I think James Cummings is like, let's get this girl to Flemington as soon as we can. And I feel like this race setup is much better for her anyway, because based on the Apollo Stakes in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, it was farcically run and turned into a sprint home. That's not going to suit this girl. She ran 4th in the Melbourne Cup, mate, as a mare. As a 4-year-old mare, might I add. So she's $6.50 with the good people at Ned's. I'm just hoping for some nice early pace from the likes of Just Folk, Future History. Nugget likes to go forward. Plays to Carousel as well. If she can get a nice hit in behind them, that long Flemington straight, plenty of space, will give her some time to wind up. Jamie Mellum goes on Zardozi. I think she'll get along nicely with this girl. She's the one for me at $6.50. Keen to have a bet.
Okay. All right. Zardozi, interesting. I don't know if she's only 1 from 13 on good ground as well. 25 degrees at Flemington on Saturday, up to 25 km/h southerly winds as well. So, yeah, I think she likes it with a bit of cutout.
Yeah.
So, happy to see her go. But I found it really difficult to actually find a bet in the race. She's the class horse, and you're getting $7.
Yeah, I think the other one that you could look at is probably number 10, Placed to Carousel. But for me, you just have to see how she goes. And she had a fantastic debut run in Australia in the Randwick over 2,000 metres. And based on that, you're like, well, clearly she's a rung below Via Sistina, but she's probably good enough to jag a race such as this in Australia. But, gee, she was terrible last prep. So I have to see her go around for me.
There's some internationals that bounce off the plane and then they do nothing. I think that's the Jason Richardson theory. You have to be very good to sustain it.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, without a fight and Via Sistina style.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like they're elite wherever they run.
Yep.
So, with all due respect, Place du Carousel, she won a Group 1 in, was it France?
I think she won one in France, yeah.
Yeah, Longchamp. There you go.
So long, champ. Speaking of champs, number 7, Stapati is your $4.80 favourite.
Interesting.
55 kilos. He's not harshly weighted in a race like this. 1,600 metres.
Yeah, I don't know with Stapati. He's kind of got his groove back, hasn't he?
He does, but is his groove back just running on a bit? Because if you look at this is his last few starts. Drifters, third, second, third.
Yeah.
He can run on a bit.
Yeah, so he's going to be about, $1.60 to place.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm seeing some shockers now. I'm seeing like $6 to $6.50 to win, like $1.60 to place. In what universe?
That would have to be no third divvy. Have to be.
Oh God, it's terrible.
Dire.
Honestly, keep an eye out for it this weekend. Typically, when we were cutting our teeth, $2 to place, you're probably getting what, 5 to win?
Yeah.
It's not the case anymore.
Depends on the field size. Sometimes you were getting like, I reckon $2.20.
Yeah.
Versus like $4.80.
Yeah, if it was a bigger field.
Tote, yeah, for like a Doncaster handicap.
Yeah.
For instance, like that's what I used to do
because it made sense.
Yeah.
Oh well.
All right. Race 8 is the Australian Guineas. Fascinating field here. Group 1 over the 1,600 metres for the 3-year-olds at set weights. Jeez, where do you start here? Angel Capital in the Yulong Silks at $3.90. Barrier 8, Benny Melamon. Here's your starting point.
He is. Angel Capital. I thought he was fantastic resuming. What was that in the Autumn Stakes, Group 2? I'm interested to get your thoughts on this because I've never really actually given it much thought. So what do you think about you're looking at the form of a race and a horse that you like coming into it has come off their last start where it's been sort of moderately run and then they've absolutely zoomed home versus a horse who's coming into it out of a fast run race where they've had to launch from the back. One of them had to sit and sprint, wins. The other one, super fast pace. They've been back in the field and they've been able to swoop home. Coming into the same race, do you give either or more weight than the other, or are you just like, depending on how this race sets up, in your opinion?
I think it's how the grand final, how the next race kind of sets up, and I think it's how that horse is also best suited.
Yeah.
The individual athlete,
yeah.
I would say. So it's like, I don't think Angel Capital, to my eye, would be best suited if this was genuinely run at the mile.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Angel Capital, he won last start and it was a bit of a sit and sprint. I'm thinking that that's probably what he wants, particularly over 1,600 metres here. Do you reckon?
That's how I've assessed him. I'm happy to risk him at the price.
Yeah.
Because in futures markets, he was, equal favourite maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Because Sepals had market support as well, but he's gone out to $6 with the good people at Ned's. Drawing barrier 3.
Yeah.
There's a fly in the ointment here, though, for Bjorn. Point and shoot. The absolute winning machine.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, how does benchmark 72 and benchmark 78 grade from Sydney wash up in a Group 1? I'm happy to find out.
Oh, yeah. Look, I think not all benchmark races are created equal. Benchmark 100s are a separate kettle of fish, obviously. Like, we treat them like that's its own ecosystem of horses. They just keep going round and round and playing and versing against each other.
Because they're usually 6-year-old geldings.
Yeah, exactly. And that's their grade. And they reached their grade when they were 3, and they never moved past it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they find themselves in a big handicap and they're 20-1, and people are like, I tell you what, this horse can win this. It's like, but he didn't win the 3 other handicaps he contested at a lighter weight. It doesn't make any sense. But point and shoot, the way he won last start, it was elite.
Against the pattern sort of stuff.
Yeah, it was elite. And I'm not surprised to see him come up at $6 in this at all.
Like, margins are everything. And that is where margins are important in handicap races, I believe. So, although he had 54.5 kilos, he went out and beat him by 5.5 lengths in 72 grade. Now, he went out and won by about 3 or 4 when he stepped up to 78 grade, albeit he did have 55 there. So he was well weighted there. So equal weights here. It's interesting. Melbourne first time. I'm happy to find out, though. Mm-hmm. I just think he's a bit of a talent that's on the up and up, even though he is a son of Blue Point.
Yeah.
Not my favourite.
He could be the one. He could be the one time.
Well, okay. Notable sons of Blue Point, the horse. Let's see what it... Icarian Dream, Bazusto. Tazara. Anyway, you keep talking.
Bazusto. We might as well talk about him in this race. Do you know why?
Why?
Because there's a Kiwi horse. So you got Point and Shoot flying down to Melbourne from Sydney. And then you've got a Kiwi horse, Savage Lee, flying across the Dutch to contest this race. He, last start, was in the BCD Group 1 sprint over in New Zealand, the race that Nash flew over just to RMP on here to shock. Bazusto ran second in that race. So he's found himself 11-1 in this race with Mickey D on board. My question to you, if Here to Shock and Bazusto were in this race, what price would they be?
Here to Shock. $5?
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Savage Lee's got a bit of a boom on him. He won the 2000 NZ Guineas over there as well, which is a Group 1 over 1,600 metres. But for mine, like $11, I think if you want to play him, absolutely. But if you're losing to Bazusto, Here to Shock's a good horse, but if you're losing to those two who are flowing over to contest a 1,400 metre race, I'm prepared to risk.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if there was some support for him.
Yeah. Kiwis like to support their own.
Absolutely.
So
Point and Shoot, is he the one that you're leaning towards?
yeah, he's on top, but I'll be playing a Quinella with the other up-and-comer Sepples, the two geldings.
I thought Sepples was enormous last start.
Huge.
He looked fantastic in the yard.
Yeah.
My only concern for him, and he's won on good tracks, so, you know, may not be worth reading into, but they were at Sale and Sandown against, you know, inferior opposition. And then that day at Flemington on a soft 7, he's just absolutely exploded with the pace on. So my concern with him is he's obviously a good horse. Does he want a bit of cut out of the ground? But at the same time, like Gate 3, Blakey Bill, and he really put them to the sword. Like he was so much better than them in the CSAs, and he's versing most of them again here. So for mine, I'm happy to bet on Seeples with the price difference, $6. I'm kicking myself last start I didn't back him at a bigger price. And I'm in hindsight, if I liked him in that race, I probably should have looked at the futures for the Aussie Guineas. But alas, here we are, drifters. Angel Capital, I'm a big fan of the horse, as you know. I feel like he probably is going to gain a couple of lengths after Yulong bought him because that's just how good they're going. It's ridiculous. Big fan of the horse. I think he can run super. He's the main threat. Point and shoot as well. Like I'm liking that we've got 2 geldings in the market here because that means they're going to continue racing. Whereas Angel Capital, if he wins this, see you later, bruh.
See you, bruh.
Yep. I'm liking that. And then Henley, that prick of a horse, I'm going to forgive him last start on that deck, not his jam. He's $21 here. Like, if you're playing exotics with the good people at Ned's Drifters, I think he can bounce back. Terrible gate, but he gets mark on his firmer ground. I think he'll be a big improver. So that's how I'm seeing the race.
Yeah. Gold Rush Guru? He was good.
He was good. I just, for me, he was a bit one-paced up front.
Yeah.
And I like him in this race because he's going to actually probably give it a moderate tempo. No, for me, he's one that I won't back until it gets out over further.
Yeah.
But I think he's a good horse.
He market support for him last start.
Yeah, which is telling as well.
Yeah. But I agree. The son of American Pharaoh needs further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Henline as well, $21 back onto good ground. Blinkers on first time. Zara sticks. A few ticks there. So one for the multiples. Yeah. If it doesn't work out for him, I think he's getting the little chop.
Unlucky, bruh.
The Inglis Sprint is race 9. 1,200 metres for the 3-year-old set weights penalties. Chris Waller's just going bottom of the barrel sort of stuff with Gatsby's.
Bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
With absolutely no respect, you said that as well.
Yeah.
You didn't preface that with any respect.
No, mate. Like, we know where this horse is at. Like, oh, sorry. He ran a length behind linebacker last start. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
So, right, chips in, you reckon?
I'm keen to have a good bet here, and it's Warwick Farm form. One of Les Bridges' horses, number 15, Scintilla. Mate, she's just been... She's coming back from 1,400 metres at Warwick Farm to the 1,200 metres here, but I don't mind that down the straight. She's drawn out, which you don't mind down the straight. But, mate, she's been putting together some really nice races in, mid-weekers, but putting into the sword. She's clearly so much better. But I saw her in acceptances, and I thought that, I reckon she'll probably be single figures because, people smarter than me would have seen her races and marked her a lot shorter. But she's $10 with good people at Ned's at the moment, little 3-year-old filly. So I'm really keen to bet into that. First time I've seen the price. She's by Hellbent, and Hellbent's got Magic Time and also has Benedetta. And I'm just going to put it out there with absolutely no evidence at all. It's completely anecdotal. I reckon the Hellbents enjoy the straight. just like the Zoo Stars, I reckon they really like the straight at Flemington. So... Okay. I'm surprised by that price. I'm really keen to play at that. Number 15, Scintilla.
Interesting.
Les Bridge, when he gets a good one, he knows where to place him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about a horse that, we had a couple of successes on, I believe, last prep, was number 3, Daggers, for Trent and Natalie Busted and Young.
Mm-hmm.
Barrier 14, the son of Vinny. Good track should hopefully suit him, but they tried him out to the mile, didn't really suit.
Nah, I like seeing him here as well. I think he's the main danger. I backed Reserve Bank, who's the favourite in this race. I think all 3 times it ran last prep, and clearly a horse with some talent, but it's only run on soft decks. Reserve Bank, really dry Flemington deck here. Resuming, I'm just keen to sort of leave him out. So, yeah, Daggers was the threat for mine, but Scintilla, keen to bet.
All right. You might have talked me into that. Might be on your coattails.
Yeah. Man, well, that's a Quincy with good people in there. So pay some juice.
Love it. Now, let's go to Randwick. Hot weather during the week, top of 29. How's this for some wind? Southerly 15 to 25k, so that's marginal. In the morning, that's a southerly. And then it's switching to a northeasterly to 15 to 20 kilometres and in the afternoon. So it's not too crazy.
Well, your boy's going to be there, so I can actually be the barometer for you.
Fantastic. Might have to get you to take like a windsock, like hold it up. It's like, guys, this is what I was doing.
This is what I was doing. I'll just do these ones. Yeah, that's northerly.
All right, let's go race 4. Cracking race this. The Skyline Stakes. 1,200 metres, Group 2 for the Colts and the Geldings. Set weights. I think I did actually have a look at previous winners of this race. So in previous years, we've had the likes of Corniche, Promido, O President, who I believe got scratched a couple of days before the Golden Slipper. I reckon Bossy was booked to ride, and then he had no ride. Mamaragan. Remember that horse?
Yeah, I do remember that horse.
Now we get into some good ones. Microphone.
One of mine, that's for sure.
Santos, Diamond Tethalga, good standing, Exosphere, Valentia, All the Talk. Anyway, goes on. So, not a previous winner of the Slipper in here for a minute. Schnitzel won this race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, there's 3 horses that I want to talk to you about. They are number 1, Rivellino, number 2, Shaggy, and number 4, Comedy. Do you just follow me in with Shagster here?
I can see Shaggy absolutely winning again. The sad thing is he's $2.35 with
I
Neds.
know, he's not. What was he last start? $8?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Like, that's short. That's really short.
It is short. But
He's professional, though.
He is. Do you know what I found interesting? J-Max jumped off Rivellino and jumped on Quietly Arrogant for the Snowdens. And that might have something to do with the fact that the Quietly Arrogant silks are also the Newgate China Horse Club silk. So maybe there's some swing that's happening there, but I found that interesting. Shaggy could be one of those ones where you see the short price and you know what he did last start, and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, he's the obvious leader. They're going to have to chase him down. He showed plenty of fight last start. But how am I going to get him beat? When really you should just take the $2.35 and just be happy with it. Like, is that the case with this?
On exposed form, I don't think anything has the speed of him.
No.
And he was, I reckon he was challenged a little bit. He was like, see ya, bruh. Like,
I think he was, yeah. The only horse who I think could turn the tables is number 4, Comedy. Because he's going to love stepping up to 1,200 metres from the 1,100.
I think this is my slipper horse, Comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah, I think it has Golden Slipper written all over him. So I would even hope that Comedy wins this and have a bet on him in the slipper after. Because I think last time we checked, when we were talking about him a couple of weeks ago, I believe he was around that $26 quote for the slipper. So he's into 21s now.
If he wins this, he'll be, what, $10? Maybe less.
Yeah, like Woden's still $3.60. So
it's a fascinating slipper market this year. The Apocalyptic was just withdrawn today or yesterday from the slipper, and it was pretty firm in the market. So I don't think it's a particularly strong year, but there's no standout. Therefore, it's going to be a good betting race, I think.
Like Shaggy's $13 in the slipper.
Yeah.
Now. So it's like, if he runs up to market expectation here, he won't be that price. So there's a couple of bets you can have in the slipper market.
Yeah. While we're on the slipper, do you think anything out of the diamond can win the slipper? Devil Knight was only at his second start, but for me, it looks like 1,200 metres in a high pressure 1,200 metres probably isn't going to be his gravy. Tentris was pretty good.
Yeah. I think Godolphin, be it Anthony Sam Friedman or James Cummings, I think they send the best one to the slipper.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking as well. I was thinking about Comedy after its last start as a potential slipper horse for your boy.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to play this race, though. Like, am I just going to watch Shaggy win and then be like, fucking hell, I could have doubled my money there?
Yeah.
Or do I have a bet on Comedy at $5.50 and be like, I knew he couldn't chase him down, but I still bet anyway? I don't know how to play it.
Yep. Maybe you just watch. Maybe just have a couple of bets in the slipper.
Maybe I do.
Rivellino? That was a very impressive
It
Millennium
was
ring.
good. It was really good. Yep.
The Millennium horses are never, ever supported.
No.
Ever.
No.
It could be the year for it, though.
It could be. I was about to say, because there's usually question marks on that race, but because it's such an even crop, like maybe that race is as good of a barometer as anything else. I don't know.
Like 1,100 metres, step up to 1,200, only looks to suit that horse.
Mm-hmm.
Barrier 10, probably a bit sticky, so it's going to be out the arse end. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, probably leaning towards Comedy just because Shaggy's a little bit too short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got your chockies last time, so he owes you nothing.
Nothing.
Not a cent.
I leave Shaggy with good memories.
Yep. The Shagster.
Yeah. Now, the Sweet Embrace. Previous winners of this. Lazargo, Fire Burn, 4 moves ahead, one of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Hungry Heart, good horse.
Mm-hmm.
Anahid, swimmer. Seabrook, I think it was a swimmer as well. One more, Honey, Scarlet Rain. I think there was more slipper winners from this edition compared to the boys. Yes. Where do you think you're heading here? Bella Zane for friend of the podcast.
Yeah, I think
Sammy Sheehan.
I think so. I think she was fantastic last start, and we've got a subsequent winner who ran second to her. She was tough. Does she want the 1,200 metres though? That's the question.
And Devil's Advocate, Extractor into third, was dog shit in the diamond.
He was dog shit in the diamond.
But
I think he's got excuses. Yeah.
I handled Kelfield, softly run race, and was up third last, like giving me no chance.
Absolutely no chance. I think I'd be more concerned about the son of Bivouac Baywatched.
Baywatch.
I'd be more concerned about him being a subsequent winner. So I think she can absolutely win. Price tag still in the single digits.
Well,
doesn't make any sense.
I think it's a better price than what she was in the Millennium. Though.
She should be more than that, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Snitzel Miss. The Playwright. Ran well in the diamond. J-Mac. Waller. $3.90.
Yeah.
It's the favourite. So if it was out of any other camp, if it didn't have J-Mac, I think Bella Zane would be the favourite. So I'm happy to be with her.
Yep. Barrier 3 gets the run of the race sort of stuff.
Yep.
Within the Law is a tough little filly.
She is.
Real tough. Barrier 12 is no good, but JC, Jesus Christ himself, Jason Collette,
Yep.
is running. He's riding super. Out of his skin sort of stuff.
The boy from Bethlehem.
for the trainer from Bethlehem at the moment.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Bjorn Baker.
Kissed by an angel, fucking hell.
Within the Law is $21 in the slipper. So I'll probably back myself in Comedy Within the Law, backing them both here, backing them both in the slipper because I can.
Mm-hmm.
And
when is the slipper? The 22nd?
yeah, about that.
I think March. So that's... Yeah, we've only got a couple of Saturdays between now and then, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's because that's how dates in the week works.
No,
Drifters.
you've nailed it, mate.
Thanks.
The Guy Walter Stakes, 1,400 metres, Group 2 for the mares. Set weights, penalties. So basically, it's the mares that aren't good enough to compete in the Very Elleegant Stakes.
Yep.
That's my takeaway. You have Amelia's Jewel, Lentia, Alsafina. They're probably the most likely, I would have thought. Mm-hmm. And the market suggests so.
Yes.
2-horse race?
No, not a 2-horse race. Amelia's Jewel's too short for mine as a favourite, $2.40. She's got to carry the top weight. And I think for her, don't get me wrong, her last couple of runs in the spring were fantastic. Even though she finished 5th, in the Champions Mile. She ran on nicely and obviously nearly won me the fucking Empire Roast Stakes and stuff before that. I can't believe she got pipped on the line. But she's got to carry 57 kilos versus her two key rivals, Alentia and Alsafina, who've got 56. And she's resuming over 1,400 metres. And I'm looking at this race, and where's the pace? There's absolutely none. I don't even know who leads. I reckon Alsafina and Alentia are the ones. I thought Alentia, what she wants is a sit and sprint, which she got first up in the Expressway Stakes. So I probably would have wanted to see her run better, but would not be surprised. But I think Alsafina is probably a nice bet here, resuming. 1,400 metres is a tick. Dry deck's a tick. Gate 5's nice. I think she's got a bit more tactical speed. She can sit up near the front. It's $4. Neds, I think she's probably the one for me.
Yep. Gets a kilo weight relief compared to the Empire Rose, where she wasn't beaten that far. Held up in that as well.
Yeah.
So Alsafina is one of mine, and we saw her. Pardon me. We saw her in the flesh absolutely brain him at Moonee Valley.
Yeah.
That was impressive sort of stuff.
Was. A bit of a brute as well, actually, from memory.
Yeah. Like she's built. She's a big, thick girl.
And you just look at her strike rate. Like, she's got a formidable strike rate. Obviously, a lot of that's from the western side of Australia. But yeah, I think for me, she's the one I want to sort of back first up, particularly when Alentia, if you look at her record in comparison between between her first run of a prep and her second run of a prep drops away pretty significantly. So happy to take on Amelia's Jewel.
Yep.
And she's one of mine.
Yeah. Alsafina for me as well. All right. The Surround Stakes, 1,400 metre group 1 for the fillies set weights. I think it is telling that Chris Waller has not taken Aliana here or Autumn Glow first up. Lady Shenandoah is $1.55 with the good people at Ned's.
I can't see her being beaten.
No, that was so easy.
So easy. And who's her main rival here? Lady of Camelot?
At $5.50.
I wouldn't take $12 for her.
No.
I wouldn't take $20 for Lady of Camelot. And then you're thinking to yourself, okay, well, who turns the tables?
Yeah.
Lady Shenandoah is going to be better over 1,400 metres. She's drawn perfectly. She gets J-Mac.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be incredibly hard to beat, and the price suggests it.
Exactly. Like, Moving Out is an alternative form reference. Kiwi filly coming over, ran third in the 1,000 guineas over there behind the likes of Alabama Lass and the like. Lilac is a filly that some people have had big opinions of, but she was beaten back in 3 lengths in the light figures. So, yeah, it's pretty straightforward sort of stuff here, I would have thought.
I think so. I think Amelita's a nice horse in the Wink Silks, number 9 for Chris Waller. Again, yeah, she was beaten like 3.5, 4 lengths in the light fingers resuming, but I found it fascinating that Chris Waller resumed her there, considering that her prep prior where she won twice and ran second, she had 1,100 metre maiden win in Canterbury, bang. Second in a benchmark 68 over 1,100 metres. Then in Group 3, down the Flemington Straight, 1,100 metres, I think was on Melbourne Cup Day, the 7th of November.
Yeah. J-Mac Road.
Yeah, J-Mac Road. So resuming over 1,200 metres here, find that interesting. So she's $27 with the good people in Neds. It's 1,400 metres here, but maybe they're just looking for certain black type from a placing perspective for Amelita. But I couldn't possibly bet, but Lady Shenandoah, I think only bad luck beats her.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. The VE, the Very Elegant Stakes, race 8, 1,600 metres, group 1, weight for age. Via Sistina, $1.95 versus the best miler in the country, some people are saying. Fangirl, at $3.20.
Yep.
And She-Wolf at 5s.
Yep.
You team Via?
I am Team Via. I think she wins. Again, I'm looking at this race. Can you see any speed at all?
Nah.
So is it going to be another sit and sprint?
Probs.
And look, that suits Fangirl better than it suits Via, I think. But But over 1,600 metres, like V16 is going to improve enormously. Plus, she gets J-Mac. I couldn't possibly bet in this race.
No, tough.
It is. It's really lacking a lot of pace. So it's going to become another sit and sprint. Like poor Chi-Wolf, he wants a high pressure mile race. He's not going to get that.
You know who could run away from him here is Nash and Lindemann. This has a Nash special written all over it.
He was good resuming 1,400 metres.
$11. That is not the worst roughie that I could steer you into.
No.
He's got 0 first up form. None. 7 attempts for 2 seconds. That's it. Look at his second up profile. Six starts for 3 wins, a second and a third. Like, I could have a 1x3 on Lindemann. Almost.
You could. Absolutely, you could.
And Nash? So hot.
So fucking hot, man. But, I couldn't possibly bet. The amount of punters who are going to pile into a 2-leg Lady Shenandoah into V16 and multi. And look, I hope it Julie Salutes. I really do. I can't get involved.
It's just sickening, though.
Yeah, I can't get involved.
I feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
Well, thank God we're ending on the Liverpool City Cup. 1,300 metre Group 3 handicap. Your boy Gringotts is back. Now, he just missed first up. Just missed.
Oh, that was...
Who did he run second to? McHale, that's right.
Yeah.
At like 50-1.
Yeah. Couldn't get out. Tommy Berry was on. He jumps at 480. Oh, when we were doing the pod, he was like $8 to $10. I was like, yeah, that's a bet.
Yeah.
Nearly landed. Don't worry.
Good times.
I well and truly made my money back on this horse. He's absolutely one of mine. 61 kilos for a horse who, geez, he's won a Group 3. So I guess, he's won a Group 3, but
where the Group 3s are abundant. I guess that doesn't include, like, what do you win, the big dance or something? Did he? You know?
Well, he's got 4 more kilos than Redina, and Redina's won an Epsom.
That is true, actually. That's wild.
That is wild.
How does that work?
I don't know how that works. I really don't know. If Gringotts comes in and wins this over 1,300 metres with 61 kilos on his back, okay, well, that's a weight for age horse if I've ever seen one. Fascinated to see how number 2 Golden Mile comes back as a gelding.
Well, the last time he was ever seen on a racetrack, I thought he was going to win. But then Antino just went, see ya, bruh.
Oh, yeah, I was on that day. That's right. In the UNU recruitment and victory stakes.
Like, Golden Mile just loomed up, had to think about it, got gelded.
Yeah. He loomed up, had to think about it, was retired to stud, had 0 to little interest, and I think his fertility rates were dross. James just thought to himself, Caulfield Guineas winner, my ass.
What's the point?
Let's geld this man.
What's the point?
There is no point.
There is no point. Zero point.
Let's add to that 4.3 million prize money.
It's pointless.
It is pointless.
You could almost lob Golden Mile into the Pericles and Tom Kitten brothers. 20 starts, 5 wins.
He placed in a Golden Eagle, didn't he?
Did he? I don't know. Did he?
Please tell me he did.
All right, let's have a look here. Golden... He might have been behind. Yeah,
he played third. The triplets. Gold Mile, Pericles, and Kitty Cat Tom.
Wow. I think he's like the ugly duckling of those 3, though. Oh, maybe Pericles is. I don't know.
Pericles hasn't won in Group 1. Kitty Cat Tom and Golden Mile have.
Yeah, Pericles would have to be.
He is. Yeah. He's the ugly duckling. He ran poorly on the weekend. Yeah. Duly saluted like an ugly duckling. Fascinated to see how he goes. I watched. He had a track gallop a couple of weeks ago. Jeez, he looked fat as a bus.
Yeah, like
bro's been enjoying himself.
Yeah,
rightly so.
Apparently, the laziest people who know horse flesh better than you and me. Saying that this horse is the laziest worker of all time.
Golden Mile is.
If he's by himself, no interest. So
respect.
Yeah. So, I have a dog, right? And from what I've heard is when dogs are gelded, they basically, especially the male breed, they sleep about 18 hours a day. Maybe Golden Mile just wants to sleep 18 hours a day.
That's funny.
So, but apparently when he gets in amongst them, he tries a bit more. So, you might see. Radina with J-Mac on is interesting.
That is interesting.
Like, his trials have been okay. I don't think he's won since the Epsom, has he?
No, but he had some injuries, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So, probably want to see him do it. In terms of consistency, NCAP is getting up there. Doesn't salute that often, but I could see him winning a race like this. Nash on, Barry 3, just kind of going to go forward, and he's got next to no weight because he doesn't win.
Here's one for you. I forgot to tell you this. So Golden Mile is by a stern. Another prominent horse by a stern is Aft Cabin, right? I was just reading an article on The Straight. If you drifters read that, it's good stuff. Basically updating like standing stallions in Australia. So Godolphin or Darley, they sent a stern to Turkey. Sold him. He only served 12 mares in his final season in Australia.
Yeah, right.
Stern. So they clearly don't think much of him. But a Ferris Suivre is also by a stern. Interesting.
Okay.
So Bro's going to be standing in Turkey now. And now one of his Group 1 winning sons is a gelding in this race. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to play the race. I really like Gringotts, but 61 kilos is a lot.
Yeah. I'll have a bet on NCAP, I reckon. Just set up sort of stuff. Like get out of the casino sort of stuff.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
Like, yeah. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to uncover another Godolphin Bro today. That's good.
The triplets.
Yeah. That was good.
Do you think there'll ever be a day where we'll be blessed to have all three of them in the same race? I think it could be sooner rather than later.
Yeah, well.
Like, do you think that a George Ryder would be perfect for all three of these horses?
I do. Well, the odds have increased significantly now that Golden Mile's back at the track.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love how all three of them, Pericles, no, but he nearly won a Group 1 against Lindemann. And Lindemann himself has been gelded since. But all three of them are pretty much Group 1 winners, we'll say.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
No. That's fascinating, isn't it? You called this.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Pays to listen sometimes. Industry expert Declan Jones.
Look out.
News hound. When's Militarized returning? Have you heard any updates there?
I'm not sure, but I was reading the weights for the Donny, and he's in the noms, and he's carrying 55 kilos, which he might have carried that or maybe more as a 3-year-old colt.
Is that like day 1, day 2?
The Donny, I can't remember.
Day 1. So 5th of April.
Well, he'd have to be resuming very soon.
Go
Very
there second up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Chris Waller probably will have half the field anyway.
Exactly.
So, good stuff. But yeah, good day of racing. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm going to be on track, as I said, drifters, down at Randwick. It looks like it's going to be a lovely day. We'll need some help from the source finding some bets, particularly in the first couple of races, because I got no idea about that sort of form.
Midway Moral.
Yep.
Continues to find the midway winners.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it might be the only winner on the card.
It's ironic.
Yeah. Well, you'll be calling in, won't you, on Sunday?
Most likely. Flights at I'll be landing at midday, so it's up to you.
Yeah.
Might have to call me in from the airport or something.
I'll likely have some birthday commitments.
You're busy. That's fine.
Birthday commitments. So if we call in, that might be suitable.
Easy done.
All right.
Easy as.
Lovely. All right. We'll see you later, Drifters.
See you, Drifters.